So let's get into this video. See what really happened.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to challenge you on one of the statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign.
All right, so right here before we even get started, Jim Acosta says, "Thank you, Mr. President," because he is the president. He says, "I want to challenge you." Okay, so right there, Donald Trump is being put on a defensive position, right? I want to challenge you.
In the midterms.
Here we go.
Here we go, right?
Well, if you...
Look, the guy in the background here with the mustache, he already knows, right? He's already got his head cocked, like, what's this going to be, right? Because Jim Acosta has a reputation for hijacking these press conferences. He has the reputation of someone who grandstands, okay? Now, in the background, you can also see, right here, the young intern, who obviously the controversy is centered around that. She's already smiling. I don't know what she's smiling about, but it's probably the fact that Jim Acosta is challenging the president, and the president has made a Trumpian remark. Here we go.
Don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, the caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me.
Thank you for telling me, Jim. Thank you for informing me about the caravan. All right? Like, I don't know. I'm the president of the United States. You don't think I know what's going on, Jim? I know what's going on. Thank you for letting me know. Okay? Thanks, Jim. Thanks for the information that it's not an invasion, because it is an invasion. Okay? If you watch the videos, you see that these people throw rocks at helicopters. They're tearing shit down. They are very aggressive. They're chanting and shouting, and they're waving flags that aren't the American flag. Real quick, before we get back into the video, if you were a migrant from another country that was leaving something terrible and coming to America, and you were peaceful, don't you think that you would be waving the American flag and saying, "Look, we come in peace. We're not here to cause problems. We're fleeing a problem. I have my children here. We need help. We need help"? Or do you think you'd do that, or do you think you'd be throwing rocks at helicopters and other things, right? There's videos of people getting paid. You know what I mean? So it's a crazy situation. It's a crazy situation. The caravan, the invasion is coming up. They want to get into the country. The Democrats like that because they know they're going to be Democratic voters. Okay? That's just the truth of the situation. Those people are coming here. The Democrats want them here. Okay? Trump doesn't. Trump's saying we need strong borders. We'll get into that in a little bit. But immediately, Jim Acosta is grandstanding. He's trying to get a narrative. He's pushing his narrative.
Why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that you demonized immigrants?
Did you demonize immigrants, right? Very divisive statement, right? Did you demonize immigrants? Because that's the thing. CNN is a very divisive news outlet. He's saying, did you mean to demonize immigrants? And immediately the president is like, he's pissed about it because he's like, I don't demonize immigrants. You people say I demonize immigrants. I'm not demonizing anybody.
In this election, to try to keep...
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know, they have to come in, Jim, through
I want them to come to the country, but they have to come in legally.
a process. I want it to be a process.
And people are saying they want to come in legally, right? They want to come in legally. They want to seek asylum. But they're being coached on how to seek asylum, on what to say to be considered a refugee seeking asylum. You can't have tens of thousands of people all coming to seek asylum like that at once when they're pretty much a violent mob of people coming up. If you've seen the videos, then you know, right, that they're not peaceful people, right? They've caught, I believe they've caught terrorists, right? They've caught criminals in the caravan already. You know what I'm saying? People they've already deported, gang members. Like, the people have to be properly vetted. That's what the president's saying. You can't just let people in.
And I want people to come in, and we need the people.
Your campaign.
Wait. You know why we need the people?
Now he's taking a shot back at Acosta because this is instantly a boxing match. You know why we need the people, right, Jim? Because of the economy. It's so good that companies are coming back, and we need people to fill in jobs. right? So President Trump is taking a shot back at Acosta here.
Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the people.
But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over.
Again, Acosta, right? Your campaign put out an ad that showed migrants doing this and doing that. Yeah, that's what they're doing. It's video footage, Jim.
Walls and so
that's
on.
true.
But
They weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. These.
Right? People are already putting their hands up. Other reporters are putting their hands up waiting for the next question because this moves quick. And Trump has to mediate this, right? Because it has to be done timely, right? There's 68 other reporters in the room that want to ask questions, okay? This isn't about Jim Acosta and his news story or whatever he's doing. Already 3 things, right? I want to challenge you. You demonized immigrants. Are you demonizing immigrants? Your campaign's putting out ads like this, right? But really, this has got to move along, right? So the people are already like, yo, okay, let's go. Next question. And it's only what? Yeah, I mean, a minute into
These were people, this was an actual, it happened a few days ago.
The young intern is already getting up because she's anticipating doing her job, getting the microphone and giving it to the next reporter, right? So she's positioning herself to do her job, to get the microphone and get it to the next person.
And
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly.
Hundreds of miles away is stupid. Like it's very antagonistic to say because it doesn't matter how far away they are. They're coming, all right? They'll be here eventually. The president is doing his job, okay? It's his constitutional obligation.
I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
Right, let me run the country. You run CNN. And you could even see he's smirking like, hey, nice shot. Nice shot, Mr. President.
And if you did it well, your ratings
Let me ask
much
you,
better.
Ooh, now Trump is basically just like verbally winning this little pit pat, whatever you want to call it. This right here. Like there's smirks in the room. You can see it. Let me run the country. You run CNN. Right? Because Acosta challenged the president and he's losing. That's it. He's losing the argument here. He's losing this little confrontation. It's over. At this point, it's over. Trump's looking around the room to his next question, right? There was no attack on journalism. There was nothing. What Acosta should have did was shut his mouth and move on. But he can't do that. Watch. Right? That's enough. He's looking. He said it once. That's enough. He's looking for the next person. The intern gets up. Her eyes are on the microphone. That's what she's coming to get. She's not assaulting him. She's doing her job. She's coming to get the microphone. Watch. What happens here. She reaches with her right hand for the microphone. Right? This is like a play-by-play. I'm going to break it down for you for what really happened here. Okay? She's going to reach for the microphone with her right hand over Acosta's left hand. Okay? Now watch what Acosta does. Instead of just giving her the microphone, which is what he should do, he blocks her arm the first time here, right? He leans back a little bit, right? Because he doesn't want to give up the microphone. That's enough. I think that's twice he said it. Now he blocks her arm. Acosta blocks the intern's arm, right? And she's like, well, I can't grab it. I can't get it because he won't give up the microphone.
That's enough.
Right? That's enough. Is that 2 or 3? Now she's still fixated on the microphone because her job is to get the microphone from him and give it to the next person because the president said that's enough. Next question. There's no assault here. She grabs it because that's her job. Get the mic from this guy. Get the microphone because his time is over. The president is watching this whole thing happen. Okay? Now this is where she reaches with her left. Acosta comes down on her arm with his left arm. He forcefully does it. He doesn't karate chop her. He doesn't assault her. But he puts his arm on her arm and pushes it down. Like, in other words, get off the mic. Like that. That's what he did. Like this. Get off the microphone. And you can tell he did it forcefully because her body slightly jolts forward. Like she goes like this.
The other folks
That's
have
enough.
Boom. And if you see her legs without this breaking news, without this little thing at the bottom, her leg actually has to come forward because she lost her balance. All right, let's watch it one more time.
That's
Mr.
enough.
President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Watch. Boom, she comes forward like that. And now, this is the moment. This right here is a beautiful thing because this is the moment that no one's talking about. This is the moment that I'm going to talk about that you're not going to get anywhere else, okay? Because this is the reality check for everybody out there on YouTube, on the news. No one's talking about this moment right here. Acosta pushed her arm down. She tripped and fell forward, but she still has a firm grip on the microphone. She's got a strong grip. She is doing her job. That's all she's doing. He pushed her arm down. The eye contact here between Acosta and the intern. The intern's looking at him right now. Like, did you just do what I think you did? Right? Did you just, forcefully, kind of manhandled me a little bit. Right? She's like, what? You know, she's looking at him like, and Acosta's looking back at her. Now, every man who's ever pissed a woman off knows that look. Every guy knows that look from a woman, okay? He is recognizing what he did right here. He is seeing the look on her face. And the president, mind you, right, is seeing this whole thing happen, okay? He told him several times, that's enough. The lady came over for the microphone. He's not giving it, you know? And this look right here is where Jim Acosta recognizes this is his oh shit moment, okay? I just did something stupid, okay? I'm in front of a room full of people who all just saw that, and I can't say, bitch, you crazy? This is my microphone. I can't say that. I can't say, yo, like, this is mine. So what do I say instead? Pardon me, ma'am. Pardon me, ma'am. Pardon me, ma'am. Like, that's like what a guilty guy would say. Now look at Acosta looking back at the president to see if the president's gonna like yell at him for what he just did. Okay? These are the subtle things that you have to see. This lady, the intern, is looking back at the president like, yo, I tried to grab the microphone. He's not giving me the microphone. What do I do now? Do I call security? Like, what do I do? Let's just see how this plays out. Look, see, she's looking at him. Excuse me, again, the president. Now he's pointing at him. I told you your time is up. You asked your questions.
Enough.
Your time's up.
That's
enough. Again, 4 times. He's pointing to other people. And he still won't give up the microphone. This is why Jim Acosta should have lost his hall pass. Okay? If not for what he did to the girl. Because that was uncalled for. He shouldn't have did that. Alright? You don't do that. But for this reason, he's hijacking the press conference. He won't give up the mic.
On the Russia investigation, are you concerned that...
Look at the president now. He's like, I can't believe you. He's like, you're disorderly right now. Okay? If you were in school, you'd get a pink slip for this shit. You'd get written up for this shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's...
I'm not concerned with anything about Russia because it's bullshit.
That's enough. Put
It's
down
a
the
hoax.
mic.
Mr. President, are you worried?
That's enough. Put down the mic. Now the president's like, yo, I can't, right? He's like, I can't. I'm walking away from the podium. I'm walking away from the podium right now. Because I'm not even gonna let this guy speak. Look, now he already is like, he's caught. Right here, he's caught. Okay? He's moving to sit back down. Right? The intern's still locked on the mic. It's hilarious. Like, she's so, her intent is just get the mic from this guy, right? But he's already, like, cowering. Like, shit. He don't know if Trump's coming around the podium to punch him in the face or not. Like, oh, bro. And he just like, gives the mic. You know what I mean? Like, he knows he's wrong. He knows. Right here, you can see it. He knows he's wrong. Now, he's looking at the president like, I don't know if he's thinking, like, did I get you? Like, did I piss you off? Because obviously he pissed Trump off. But, or if he's saying, like, shit, am I going to lose my hall pass for this? Did I cross the line? Right here.
Mr. President.
Now let's just watch the whole thing full motion again with what I said, and you see if you see what I saw.
I'm not concerned about anything.
All right, we got to back
That's
it up.
enough.
Mr. President,
That's enough. Mr. President,
Ooh, look at her face right there. That was after he pushed her arm down. Like, she in that moment must have felt like belittled, almost. Like, I feel bad for her. You know what I mean? I really do. I feel bad for her.
if I may ask
Peter,
one other
go ahead.
question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's
Mr.
enough.
Here she
President,
comes.
That's
I was going to
enough.
ask one of the other folks.
One
That's
hand.
enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President.
That's
Pushes her
enough.
arm down.
Mr. President,
Oh,
I have one other
shit.
question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have
I'm not concerned
indictments-
about anything with
you
the
may have
Russian
indictments coming
investigation because it's a
Oh,
hoax.
he's
Are you-
started.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Put down the mic. Oh, shit. I fucked
Mr.
up.
President.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
We know,
CNN
Jim.
should.
You fucked up.
I'll tell you what, CNN should.
Right, see, he's pissed. Trump is pissed. CNN should be ashamed for having you here because you're not doing what a journalist should do. Right? Now, people say Trump attacks journalism here and attacks, like, the media. And, like, he's against, like, the media and stuff. But that's false. That's not true. He's just pissed about what Jim Acosta did. Right? He calls him names here. He calls him rude. Just, Trump is pissed. And remember, Jim stood up and said, I have to challenge you, right? He lost the challenge. And
Be
then
ashamed of
was
itself
being a bitch,
having you
right?
working for
He
them.
was being
You
a
are
bitch.
a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN.
To call him a terrible person, you know, I don't know. It just could have been, you know, that Trump was pissed off. Now, remember, he's got to mediate this whole thing, right? So he's got to put Jim in his place and say, you shouldn't be doing this shit. That wasn't right of you to do. You know what I mean? He's got 68 other reporters in the room that all really want their questions answered, right? They all have to report it literally. They have to report to somebody on this, right? So, you know, was Trump's "you're a terrible person" comment a little out of line? Maybe, you know, maybe a little out of line. You're a terrible person, but that's how Trump feels, and he's transparent. You know what I mean? He's a New York City guy, right? He's gonna tell you how it is. You're a piece of shit. You're a jerk off. You know what I mean, Jim? Sit down. I told you 7 times. Enough. Give the mic away. You didn't give the mic away. What are you trying to do? It's very annoying, right? He's been doing this for a long time. It's very annoying. And the president let him have it today.
Go ahead.
Right? Enough was enough.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way.
You shouldn't treat people that way. And he's right. You shouldn't. You know? The things he says, the things he reports on. You know, he's very biased. And today, he challenged the president.
Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
Challenge
In Jim's
Donald
defense,
Trump.
I've traveled
Donald
with him
Trump
and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts
Well,
his
I'm
butt
not a
like
big
the rest
fan of
us.
yours either, so.
I understand.
To be honest.
So let me ask you a question if I can.
Fan of yours either, so.
I understand, to be honest. So let me ask you a question if I can.
Right. All right. So this guy's standing up and defending Acosta. All right. He's not a terrible person, the guy's saying. So maybe the guy's Jim's friend, right? He's like, in Jim's defense, he's not a terrible person. Now, the president isn't a fan of this guy either. And he tells him, he lets him know.
You repeatedly
You
said,
are-
Because Trump's
you are
not
the
going to be a
best.
punching
Mr.
bag for
President,
the
you-
media.
you repeatedly said,
You are the best.
Mr. President,
Acosta stands up again. Jim, did you not learn your lesson? Did you not learn your lesson? Do you want to go round 2? No, look at the people in the background. This lady's smiling and laughing. It's like, you know, this lady's laughing. This guy's still
repeatedly,
got his head cocked back.
over the course of
Okay,
the,
just
What
sit
the
down.
fuck is going on?
repeatedly, over the course of the,
Just sit down.
Oh, now this girl's got her head cocked up. Like, what? You know what I mean? My reinforcements came in. Everyone's looking around like this. This lady's looking to the side like, oh, shit, is this really going on? Look at their faces. No one really talks about the air of the room. Look at their faces. I know you know how to read faces and what faces say. Okay? Look at this guy. He's like, man, he's like, damn, they got a ticket to the show. You know, they're watching something entertaining right now. You know, this is what people's faces look like in times like this. Look at this guy.
Please.
Oh, there's such
Well, when
words in
you
these
report
people.
fake news, no. When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead. Fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Okay, now there's people who say that when Trump says that he is attacking journalism, and he's not. That's a lie. That's also very divisive to say. He is saying when you report fake news, you're the enemy of the people, because you are. When you report fake news, you're reporting propaganda, and you're being very divisive, because most of the time what they're saying is lies, or it's very divisive, right? It's like racism, sexism, homophobic, misogynist, or attacking journalists, or whatever. The millions and millions of things that they say about the president and his administration, that he colluded with Russia to get the presidency, you know, all because the Democrats lost the election. They're being sore losers. So he's right. When you report fake news, you are the enemy of the people. And it's a very strong stance to take. Like, you're the enemy of the people. You know? You are. When you report fake news, when you lie to the people, that's wrong. It's bad for the country. We see it. We see it. There's people at Tucker Carlson's house when he's not home. His wife and kids were hiding in the closet. I mean, come on. You can't have that. You know? And it's all because of the fake news. Fake news, lies have gotten this country in a lot of problems.
Mr. President, over the course of the last several days of the campaign, sir.
Mr. President, over the course of the last several days of the campaign, sir.
He walks away from the podium and stares Acosta down. He walked away from the podium for the second time, and now he's staring Acosta down. He doesn't care what this guy's saying. He's just staring Acosta down.
Sir, at the end of the campaign, you repeatedly said that Americans...
He's shaming him.
Sir, at the end of the campaign,
Look.
you repeatedly said that Americans
Right back to this guy's question, though. Right? Now he's like, that's
need
over
to
with.
fear Democrats.
Deep
You said
breath.
Democrats
Let me see what this guy's got to say.
need to fear Democrats. You said Democrats.
Americans need to fear Democrats. Now, also, did you demonize immigrants? That's a very divisive thing to say, right? Now he's saying that the president said you need to fear Democrats, right? And the president does that. He says things that way. And people can't
would
take it.
unleash a wave of violent
But
crime
listen
that
to the
endangers
president's
families
response.
everywhere. Why are you
Because
pitting
they're very weak on
Americans?
crime.
Why are
Excuse
you
me.
pitting Americans
Peter.
against one another, sir?
Peter,
Why are you pitting Americans against one another, sir?
He's not pitting Americans against each other. Why are you? He's assuming that Trump is pitting Americans against each other, and he's not. Okay? What he said is you need to fear the Democrats because of their policy on immigration. Okay? Because when you're weak on your borders, you're letting criminals in. Okay? You're letting bad people into your country when you're weak on the borders. And it doesn't mean just Mexico. It means anywhere in the world. If anyone can come in, and if it's easy to come in, then it's easy for bad people
you're
to
trying
come
to be him.
No, I'm
to
just
bad
asking the
people,
question.
to good people.
You're trying to be him.
No, I'm just asking just
What are you trying to be him? See, because he's asking a very divisive question. He's
Let me
trying
just
to
tell you,
weave his web
very
and
simple.
paint his narrative.
Because they're
What, are you
very
trying to
weak
be him?
on crime. Because they have often suggested, members and people within the Democrat Party at a high level have suggested getting rid of ICE, getting rid of law enforcement. That's not going to happen, okay? We want to be strong on the borders. We want to be strong on law enforcement, and I want to cherish ICE. We want to be strong on law enforcement, and I want to cherish ICE.
Right, and he answered it
Because
very
ICE
clearly
does
and
a
very,
fantastic
very
job.
straightforward.
What they do for us is so, really, it's so
Because they wanna get
unrecognized
rid of
how
ICE.
good a job they do. So we want to take care of them, and we want to hold them very close because they do a good job.
But the question,
It's a
to
dangerous
be clear, though, the question,
Thank you
sir,
very much.
is why
Because they do a good job.
For the question to be clear, though, the question, sir.
Here we go. Thank you very much. You should shut up now, too. I answered your question. Shut up. Sit down. But let me paint my narrative. Let me get my narrative
sit down.
across.
But the question-
All right, look at his face. Like,
but you didn't answer my question. Just
Sit down. For the question,
Sit down, please. Again.
but you didn't answer my question.
You didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question based on the assumption that you're dividing the country. Very nice.
simply, the question is,
Very
why
cordial. Media.
Very simply, the question is, why are
Here comes the intern again, ready to get the mic. She's probably like, this guy might punch me. The last guy just, you know, pushed me, basically, right?
you
This guy
pitting
might punch me.
Americans against one another, sir?
She's
Is
furious.
that how you
I like
view
it.
No, I'm not.
citizens
Well,
of
Americans against one another, sir? Is that how you view citizens of
I'm not.
I'll tell you what.
I'm not pitting Americans against each other.
We
Then
won
he
a
goes
lot
and
of
answers the
elections
question.
last night. We
Now
did
he's gonna
very
make a
well
statement.
last night.
But in
and
many ways
I
it
think it's
divided
going
the
to have.
country.
We did very well last night.
But in many ways,
I
it's
think it's going to have.
In many ways, you divided the
I think
country.
it's-
No, the media is doing that, not the president. The media
Going to have a
and
very
their
positive
interpretation
impact.
of the things he says, right?
I watched
You know
NBC
it.
this
You
morning.
know
They
it.
didn't report it
You know
exactly
it.
correctly, but that's, very, very, that's the fact with NBC. Nothing I can do about that. But I want this country to have protection. We want security. In this country to have protection. We want security.
Protection and security was one of his
In our country.
campaign
I want
promises.
security,
We
Peter.
will make America
I mean,
safe
you maybe don't think
again.
it's so important. And I think when you don't have it, you are indeed unleashing crime. I feel that. Go ahead. And I think when you don't have it, you are indeed unleashing crime. I feel that. Go ahead.
Right. When you don't have security, you're creating an atmosphere, an environment for crime.
Said you would
in
sign
your
an
country.
executive order
That's what the president's saying. You need security.
said you would sign
on birthright citizenship? Are you
I'm pointing to the next person to answer a question. Okay?
on birthright citizenship? Are you
Give up the mic, dude.
still going to sign the executive
Look,
order
the
on
intern's looking at the
birthright
president
citizenship?
again.
You'll
this
ask
week?
me that question a
Should I
little bit
attack?
later. Go
Should
ahead.
I get
Okay.
the mic?
still going to sign the executive order on birthright citizenship?
You'll ask me that question a little bit later. Go ahead. Okay.
You'll ask me that question a little bit later. Okay, and he gives the
Go
mic
ahead,
to the
Chair.
girl, which is what Acosta should
Thank
have
you, Mr. President.
done. Just gave the mic to her.
Go ahead, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When the president says that's enough, next person, give the mic to the intern and let the next person ask a question. Okay? Now look at this guy. This guy's here. The president should have been like, he shouldn't have picked this guy.
The
Shouldn't have picked
investigation
this
by
guy
the
because
special
of his haircut. He shouldn't have picked him. He should have went to somebody else. President should.
counsel Robert Mueller has been
Mr.
going on
President,
since
should I
last
get a haircut?
spring.
Yes.
It's been
Yes,
over
we
your
should.
A
head.
long time.
Enough.
It's been over your head, over Republicans' head during the midterms as well. It's been over your head.
Long time.
That's been over your head, over Republicans' head during the midterms as well. Is this an opportunity for you, Mr.
Now, this
President,
question here,
to end that
like,
investigation? Would
Mueller
you consider
investigation?
removing
Okay.
Mr. Mueller from his position? Opportunity for you, Mr. President, to end that investigation. Would you consider removing Mr. Mueller from his position?
Oh, let's see. There's protesters all over the country right now, right? About the Mueller thing, right? Are they going to get rid of Mueller? So, this is a decent question to ask, but it's also like a log on the fire, right? I don't know what company this guy's from, what network he's from. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell someone told him, ask this question. You know what I mean? They're all just trying to get a story and weave their webs. That's what they're doing. It's a very hostile media, and that's what Trump says. Like,
I could have ended it any time I wanted. I didn't.
Like, really?
And there was no collusion. There was no anything. I didn't. They went after hackers in Moscow. I don't know about that. They went after people with
Trump
tax
doesn't wanna
problems
end it.
from
Like, he
years
wants it
ago.
over,
They went after
he's not
people
gonna end it.
with loans and other problems from years ago. They went after people with loans and other.
Right. The Democrats like to say, "Oh, so many people got indicted for the Russia collusion thing and in the Mueller investigation. None of them got indicted for anything to do with Russian collusion." Okay, that's what you need to understand. None of them got indicted for anything to do with Russian collusion. They got
Things had
indicted
nothing
for
to do
all
with
that
my
other
campaign.
nonsense, right, that Trump
This
just
is a investigation where many, many millions of dollars has been spent, and there's no collusion. It was supposed to be on collusion. There's no collusion, and I think it's very bad for our country. I will tell you. I think it's a shame. And a poll came out today, by the way, from NBC. I will tell you. I think it's a shame. And a poll came out today, by the way.
It is. It's very bad for the country. It's very divisive for the country. Just like figure out what happened and get over with it, right? Nothing happened. The only person to collude with the Russians was Hillary, and the whole dossier, all that fake crap that they did to get the investigation started, right? It was their backup plan. Peter Strzok, right? All the text messages, all the emails. Like, we have so much evidence that they colluded to get this whole thing started, and no evidence that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia. None. So, like, what's going to happen? Why would Donald Trump want to stop the investigation? Let them go, look under every rock that they could possibly look under. Like, go ahead. Keep looking. It'd only make it politically bad for Trump to end it. It would make it look bad, like he was trying to hide something.
Or at least I saw it on NBC, where a majority of the people
that's what he's telling
do not agree with the Mueller investigation, or it wasn't approved. They have approval and disapproval, and it had a much higher disapproval. It should end, because it's very bad for our country.
So if
and I'm not just talking about the tremendous expense. And the other thing is, they should look at the other side also. They only look at one side. They're not looking at tremendous expense. And the other thing is, they should look at the other side also. They only look at one side. They're not looking.
But at least this guy asked the question and is listening and participating in the press conference. Like, he's not trying to talk over the president. He's not trying to get the president to say what he wants him to say so he can run a story.
All of the things that came up.
He's like, he asked the question, now he's listening.
This investigation.
This is what it's supposed to be.
All of the things that came up during this investigation.
Because the press conference isn't about the news outlet. It's not about the reporter or the story. It's about the people. The people are supposed to get answers to questions. It's transparent. It's transparency. They're supposed to go there, ask the questions, and the president's supposed to let people know what's going on.
They don't do that. They should also get people that can be fair, not 13 or 14 or 17. I call them the angry Democrats. They are angry people. And at 14 or 17, I call them the angry Democrats. They are angry people.
And they are angry because they lost the election. They're pissed off. Right, you have Democrats.
It's a very unfair thing for this country. It's a very, very, forget about unfair to me. It's very bad for our country. It's a very unfair thing for this country. It's a very, very,
it is.
Forget about unfair to me. It's very bad for our country.
Look, and he's putting the country in his thoughts in front of him.
So, Mr. President,
he's like, it's bad for the country. You think it's bad for me, but it's bad for the country. And he's right.
So, Mr. President,
Right?
Go ahead, Mr. President. If it's unfair to the country and it's costing millions of dollars, why don't you just
give him the mic, please? I've answered the question.
If it's unfair to the country and it's costing millions of dollars, why don't you just
give him the mic, please?
Why don't you? If it's unfair to the country and it's millions of dollars, why don't you just end it? Why? Because the news and the media, the media hounds, will all attack. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll all attack. They'll be like, pictures of news stories. Oh, Trump fires Mueller. The same thing that happened with Comey. If you want to know what's going to happen if he gets rid of him, it's the same thing that happened when he got rid of Comey. And he should have got rid of Comey.
Take one.
Look, this guy was giving
well,
up
I'll
the
give you
microphone,
voter. I will give you voter suppression.
Giving up the mic.
Well, I'll give you voter. I will give you voter suppression.
Someone shouted out a question and Trump responded to it. He shouldn't have, because now people are going to shout. Because it's like throwing French fries at seagulls, right? You throw one French fry at a seagull, they're all going to swarm.
You just have to sit down, please.
Sit down, please, right? So people say that Acosta didn't assault a lady. He didn't assault a lady, but he said, "Excuse me, ma'am," but he only said that because he recognized the moment and that, like, he forcefully pushed her. And he said, "Excuse me, ma'am," he was being nice. Now Trump, mediating this whole press conference, is saying,
I didn't call you. I didn't call you.
Stand up and
I didn't
shout.
call you. I'll give you voter suppression. Take a look at the CNN polls, how inaccurate they were. That's called voter suppression. Voter suppression. Take a look at the CNN polls, how inaccurate they were. That's called voter suppression.
Right, and also net censorship is voter suppression. It's meddling with elections when you silence people when you put out fake news, when you do all that stuff, you're messing with the outcome of the elections because you're not being honest.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Misinformed voters are uninformed voters.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
This lady, he told her to sit down twice, and now she stands back up and starts yelling again. She's totally out of line. And people want to say, oh, it's because she's black and it's because she's a woman that Trump was like, you know, a little aggressive with her by telling her to sit down. Like, yo, you're standing up. You don't have the microphone. This guy has the microphone. Now, this guy's a gentleman in the back. He's letting this lady have her shouting match with the president, and he's not making it worse.
I'm not responding. I'm responding to.
Watch how the
Excuse me.
president
I'm
does
not.
this. He gets her to sit down, and he gets her to shut up.
I'm not responding to you. I'm talking to this gentleman. Will you please sit down?
Right,
Would
excuse
you
me. I'm not responding to you.
I'm not responding to you. I'm talking to this gentleman. Will you please sit down? Would you
Would you please sit down? I
Excuse
didn't ask you to continue saying what you were saying and shouting. You don't have the mic. It's not your turn.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, please sit down.
Would you please sit down? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Now
Now that the House
Shut the fuck up.
of
Very
Representatives has
hostile. It's such a hostile media. It's so sad. You asked me about. No, you rudely interrupted him. You rudely interrupted him. Go ahead. You asked me about. No, you rudely interrupted him. You rudely interrupted him. Go ahead.
Right, you rudely interrupted him. Like Trump, like I said, he's not going to be a punching bag for these people because they'll eat you alive.
Thank you, Mr. President.
These people will eat you alive, like the zombie horde, right? And they're not going to do it to
Do your
Trump.
demands remain the same to the United States
Thank you,
Congress
Mr.
on
President, for
immigration in
letting me
exchange
ask
for a
this question,
DACA
giving me
fix,
my time.
in exchange for an amnesty for one? The same to the United States Congress on immigration in exchange for a DACA fix, in exchange for an amnesty for one.
Okay, so here you go. He's asking a real question. This is what it should be. This guy is asking a real question. All right? And don't say he told that lady to sit down and shit because she was black. Because this guy's close to black. He's definitely not white. Right? And the president gives him a nice nod, very respectful. Now he's
0.7 million. Are you willing to change any of those demands that you gave to Congress earlier?
I think we could really do something having to do with DACA. And what?
Million. Are you willing to change any of those demands that you gave to Congress earlier?
I think we could really do something having to do with DACA. And what?
This guy nods his head, takes a deep breath because he's kind of nervous because he just asked the president of the United States a question. All eyes are on him. He's public speaking, so he's a little nervous. But he gives him a nod of approval. There's an unspoken thing that happens here, right? He asked a legitimate question. The president invited his question, and now is responding to his question, right? It's not a war on journalism. It's a war on assholes that try to hijack press conferences, right? Get those people out. They're no good for the country, right? They might be good for a story, for hype, right? Because look what happened. This whole Acosta thing blew up, right? Because of the fallout. Now they're saying Huckabee Sanders put out a fake video. That was just a video that Paul Joseph Watson zoomed in on and dramatized the action of the guy pushing her arm down. Personally, I think Acosta should have lost his hall pass for his behavior from A to Z, the whole thing. Challenging the president, fine, okay, but, you know, the whole confrontation of it all. Like, not giving up the microphone when the president said 7 times, excuse me, like, next, you know what I mean? And, like, he just made a whole charade of it all. Like, get that guy out of here. Bring in real
really
reporters that
happened
won't
with
ask me real
DACA. We could have
questions
done
and give up the
some
microphone.
pretty good work on DACA, but a
I go
judge
to the
ruled
next reporter.
that DACA was okay. Had the judge not ruled that way, I think we would have made it. We could have done some pretty good work on DACA, but a judge ruled that DACA was okay. Had the judge not ruled that way, I think we would have made it.
Look at the guy. He's nodding. Like, he's getting his answer. It's a good
Good deal.
question. The country wants
Once
to know.
the judge ruled that way, the Democrats didn't want to
That
talk
shit,
anymore.
like,
So we'll see how it works out at the Supreme Court.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to challenge you on
So we'll see how it works out at the Supreme Court.
All right. So, you know, that's basically that. Look at Jim Acosta. He's such a schmuck. But anyway, I don't know. That's just how I feel about this whole situation. You know, people ran crazy with it, and all the liberal media, all the, like, you know who is the liberal media now, right? This should reveal the liberal media to you. If you follow the news, this shows you who's who and who's on what team. If all these people come out right? And they all support Jim Acosta in this situation. You can't support him. This is indefensible behavior. This is indefensible behavior. He lost his hall pass. He shouldn't have his hall pass. They're trying to distract from the fact, because who is Jim Acosta really? Is he a reporter? Yeah, probably. Some people say he's in the CIA. I don't know that. You know, who knows? He did go to North Korea with the president, right? He was one of the reporters, one of the very few reporters to go, you know, to North Korea with the president, right? And actually was one of the only Westerners to actually see Kim Jong-un, right? So who knows, like, who he really is. But, you know, the whole media came out in his defense, and they're totally wrong. They're totally wrong. They said that the lady assaulted, the intern assaulted him. It's just crazy, you know, what they're saying. Because if the shoe is on the other foot, forget it. If this guy was a Republican, or if he worked for Fox News and did something like that, you know, it'd be the Kavanaugh thing all over again, you know. So, but whatever. I think the president's administration, you know, did the right thing by taking his hall pass. I hope he doesn't. Maybe give it back to him. Maybe we'll see if his behavior changes. But if you support the president and you want to pick up some pro-Trump gear, some MAGA gear, visit AmazingOutlives.com. I put together a whole bunch of Trump apparel. It took me a long time to do. I think it came out really cool. I got a lot of compliments on the hoodie. I got the Second Amendment MAGA hoodie. It's got like these, it's a American flag made out of bullets. It says MAGA across the front. It's pretty cool. And it's got the Trump endorsement right here across the back. I walked through a park and I got like 4 or 5 compliments. People were like, nice hoodie, nice hoodie. So it's pretty cool. I got mugs. I got other hats, beanies. So check that out. It's all good stuff. But this was hopefully a reality check on the Jim Acosta